Town Farm member and urban farmer.
I'm Nayomi and I'm a farmer at D-Town as well.
And today we're going to be talking about harvesting your vegetables that you grow.
So at this point, you've already watched all our other videos, which are about prepping your soil, choosing your crops, thinning, prepping everything, even trellising, watering. And so now you're at the point where you have fruit on your plants or the leaves are big and you're like, when do I harvest? When do I get to eat? And we're going to show you today.
And so today we're going to be covering harvesting from fruit-bearing plants, leafy green vegetables, and root vegetables. So you guys can see the different ways that you harvest.
And each plant that we harvest is going to be an example of that family type or that group. So we're going to show harvesting peppers, but that will look really similar to doing tomatoes, even squash. A lot of the principles will apply what we talk about. So yeah.
All right, so right now I'm going to show you guys how to harvest peppers or things from fruiting plants using pruners, which are just going to help me cut so I don't have to tug at the plant. So reach in there. I'm going to cut the stem, making sure not to damage the plant. Drop it in my bucket.
I'm going to give you a demonstration on how you can harvest fruiting vegetables without pruners. Sometimes I find myself in the garden without them. You just want to be really mindful to not break the plant. So each fruit will have an exact place where it's connected to the plant, and you just want to break it right there. So you'll hold the plant and then pull the fruit up and off, and it's broken. It always has this part where it stays connected, and that helps the fruit preserve well as well. It helps it keep longer if you don't damage the fruit or the plant. And that's how you harvest without shears.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to use our pruners to cut some arugula so that it'll continue to grow back. So we're going to grab a bunch and then we're going to cut so that you have your leaves and your plant is still able to grow.
I'm going to show you how to harvest beets specifically, but again, the beets are going to be an example of lots of different other root crops like carrots, turnips, and radishes specifically. So the root crops, you can always kind of tell when they're ready by looking at the top of the soil. You'll see kind of the fruit at the bottom starting to show behind, like, and underneath their greens. So it's actually really simple. What you always want to do is gather the greens and pull up. You'll often have a lot of soil here. You can just dust it off and wash it, and then you're ready to go. An important thing to know about root crops like radishes, turnips, beets, and carrots is that you can't really harvest them too small. Like, this is a very baby beet and it will still be delicious for dinner. So you can harvest them starting at this size about, and then growing up larger. So you know kind of what they look like when they're at the grocery store. That it takes a little bit longer for them to get to that size. So if you really want a beet, it's totally fine to take it a little smaller in size. It'll still be good. Beet greens are also edible. So you'll notice when your beets get really big, they'll have these beautiful greens, and they're super tasty. You can cut them and saute them. Similar with carrot top greens, you can eat those, even turnip greens. So most of the time, generally, our root crops will have edible greens too. So it's not so much that you just want to cut these and throw it away. You also kind of have two in one.
Today we're going to be harvesting some green and purple beans. The one thing to remember is to hold on to the plant when you're pulling off the pod, because you don't want to break your whole stem. Here's one here. Hold on to the stem. Just pull that off. And that's how we harvested our purple beans. Over here we got some green ones. Same thing. We can see them on the stalk. I'm just going to hold that when we pull them off, because we don't want to take off. We don't want to break our stem. We just want our bean pods.
So today I'm going to show you how to harvest our big leafy greens. I'm going to demonstrate collards now, but the same principle applies for kale, And broccoli greens, also maybe the outer leaves of cabbage if you like to eat those as well. So the principle is that you're just going to pull the leaf off of the stalk. The way that you do that is with a downward force and kind of to the side. You're just tearing one leaf off, and basically when you're harvesting you want to leave the really small leaves in the middle because those will become larger leaves later. So you always want to harvest the ones that are closest to the ground and pull them again with the downward and sideways force, leaving the small ones inside. So I like to grab close to the base, pull down and to the side, and you have a collard green. Again, similar for kale and also broccoli greens, collards, or cabbage too, if you eat the greens like that.